am Karina,
And I'm Maddie.
and welcome to Everything But the Fairy Tale Sink. So, this week we are going to Iceland for the first time. I'm excited, and we are going to be talking about, they go by many names. The ones that are most common are the 13 Icelandic Santa Clauses or the Yule Lads. You excited, Maddie?
I am excited. Do you like my sweater?
Yeah,
Who
I
does
like
that?
it better.
I'll turn it off. It's a little distracting.
So, before we begin, we were going to start doing a question of the day. Do you just want to come
Yes,
up with
we will.
one now?
Question of the day for this episode is because this is coming out in December. What is your favorite Christmas or holiday movie?
Ooh, that's a good one. All right.
So go ahead and leave that down below in the comments
Recommendations. You want to go first for recommendations as well?
because apparently you're not prepared for anything today.
Not today. Nope.
All right, my
Go for it.
recommendation: go make Christmas cookies. Go
Yeah.
make Christmas cookies, decorate them, eat them, maybe leave them out for Santa if you have any left over.
My recommendation is just like find something chai flavored. Honestly, like I went to a party recently and someone made the Taylor Swift chai cookies, which is what that reminded me of. They were so good. Chai tea is amazing. So just like enjoy something with chai in it, shall we?
Yes, I am looking forward to this episode.
I am also looking forward to this one. So, this one will be a little bit funky because I am actually going to be reading off the poem, and I apologize, I have English pronunciation, Jólas Vinarnir. It's by the Icelandic poet Jóhannes Jökull. Came out in the 1930s. It's a pretty famous poem that tells the story today. And the English translation that we're going to be reading is by Hallberg Hallmundsson. And then, so I'll be reading it off, and then Maddie will be interrupting me if there's any questions. We will be using the anglicized versions of the names because A, they're funnier to us as English speakers, and B, my Icelandic is horrible. All right, let's get into it. Let me tell the story of the lads of few charms who once upon a time used to visit our farms. 13 altogether, these gents in their prime didn't want to irk people all at one time. They came from the mountains, as many of you know, in long single file to the farmsteads below. Creeping up all stealth, they unlocked the door, the kitchen, and the pantry they came looking for. Long story short, they come one at a time. Grilla was their mother. She gave them ogre milk, and the father LiQWYD a loathsome ilk. So I'm going to stop there for a second because Grilla and LiQWYD are both actually pretty big figures and they didn't get mentioned more in the poem. Grilla is, I put her summary as an evil, bloodthirsty, child-eating giantess who lives in her lava fortress all year long, like learning which kids are naughty. And so during winter, it sometimes says Christmas, sometimes general winter, she goes around, collects some kids, puts them in her sack, and boils them into a giant stew to last her until winter. LiQWYD is her husband. He doesn't really do anything. He just like lays around, does what she tells him. So he's not evil, but he does eat her child stew. And then they have a pet who is not mentioned in the poem, but is pretty famous as well, called the Christmas cat, which you would think would be really nice, but no. The Christmas cat stalks around looking for children who don't have new clothes and eats them. You ready to continue?
Yes.
All right. So we're back to talking about the lads. They hid where they could with a cunning look or sneer, ready with their pranks when people weren't near. They were called the Yuletide lads. At Yuletide they were due, and always came one by one, not ever two by two. And even when they were seen, they weren't loath to roam and play their tricks, disturbing the peace of the home. The first of them was Sheepcoat Clod. He came stiff as wood to prey upon the farmer's sheep as far as he could. He wished to suck the ewes, but it was no accident he couldn't. He had stiff knees, not too convenient. The second was Gully Gawk, gray his head and mane. He snuck into the cow barn from his craggy ravine. Hiding in the stalls, he would steal the milk, while the milkmaid gave the cowherd a meaningful smile. Stubby was the third called, a stunted little man, who watched for every chance to whisk off a pan, and scurrying away with it, he scraped off the bits that stuck to the bottom and brims, his favorites. The fourth was Spoonlicker, like spindle he was thin. He felt himself in clover when the cook wasn't in. Then stepping up, he grappled the stirring spoon with glee, holding it with both hands, for it was slippery. Pot Scraper, the fifth one, was a funny sort of chap, When the kids were given scrapings, he'd come to the door and tap, and they would rush to see if there was really a guest. Then he hurried to the pot and had a scraping fest. So Bull Licker, the sixth one, was shockingly ill-bred. From underneath the bedsteads he stuck his ugly head, and when the bowls were left to be licked by dog or cat, he snatched them for hisself. He was sure good at that. The seventh was Door Slammer, a sorry, vulgar chap. When the people in the twilight would take a little nap, he was happy as a lark with the havoc he could wreak, slamming doors and hearing the hinges on them squeak. Skyr Gobbler, the eighth, was an awful stupid bloke. He lambasted the skyr tub till the lid on it broke. Then he stood there gobbling, his greed was well known, until about to burst he would bleat, howl, and groan. The ninth was Sausage Swiper, a shifty pilferer. He climbed up to the rafters and raided food from there. Sitting on a crossbeam in soot and smoke, he fed himself on sausage fit for gentlefolk. The 10th was Window Peeper, a weird little twit, who stepped up to the window and stole a peek through it, and whatever was inside to which his eye was drawn, he was most likely tempted to take later on. 11th was Door Sniffer, with doltish, lad, and gross. He never got a cold, yet he had a huge, sensitive nose. He caught the scent of lace bread while leagues away still, and ran toward it, weightless as wind over dale and hill. Meat Hook, the 12th one, his talent would display as soon as he arrived on St. Thorlak's Day. He snagged himself a morsel of meat of any sort, although his hook at times was a tiny bit short. The 13th was Candlebagger. 'Twas cold, I believe, if he was not the last of the lot on Christmas Eve. He trailed after the little ones, who, like happy sprites, ran around the farm with their fine tallow lights. On Christmas night itself, so a wise man writes, the lads were all restraint and just stared at the lights. Then one by one they trotted off into the frost and snow. On 12th night the last of the lads used to go. Their footprints in the Highlands are effaced now for long. Their memories have all turned to image and song. So that's the poem.
Nice. It kind of reminded me of, I almost said the night. I want to say The Nightmare Before Christmas. We're going to know that's not true. The Night Before Christmas,
The Night Before
Christmas. How it's not a creature was scary. Yeah, it reminds me of that.
Yeah, I would see
Just
that.
with the rhyme.
Except a little more.
Oh, with all the rhyming.
Yeah. Now, obviously, some of the rhymes don't translate as well into English. But yeah, so what do you think of the lads themselves?
I think they're all delightful.
Do you have a favorite?
I thought they were, they all serve their purpose to kind of harass people. Not in a rude way, though. They're just they're like nuisances more so than like evil.
It's still like food and stuff. And so there is a point that is made through a lot of these that basically these lads come and steal the most important parts of Christmas. So they steal the food, they steal the pans, which were actually really expensive. Yeah, they stole the most important parts of Christmas. However, nowadays they've been pretty toned down. They mostly come around dressed in suits of red and white, kind of act more like traditional Santa Clauses. Kids will leave their shoes in the window and they'll put little gifts in them or put rotten potatoes in there if you're bad.
Rotten potatoes? Potatoes?
Yeah. Yep.
It seems nicer than coal because then you can at least, I don't know, make compost out of them, use them for something. I guess
maybe.
Burn coal.
Oh, also, fun little fact. So the lads have never been the scariest, they've mostly just been nuisances. Their mother is terrifying. And her legends were actually banned in the 18th century. However, they are now popular again, and once again used to scare children.
Why were they banned? Did you ever find out why?
Because they were too scary.
They were too scary, so they just said, you're done?
Yep, the Icelandic government banned them because they were too scary for children and too traumatizing.
All right. We will often see that happening because we've talked about quite gruesome things on here for children. Finally, a government was like, we're done.
No. But yeah, so now if you're ever in Reykjavik during the Christmas season, I know the National Museum of Icelandic History, I believe, has events where you can take your kids and they'll sit and each of the lads will come by and say hi to the kids. So yeah, it's a cute little thing now, which is hilarious because it really just started off as like these ugly trolls. Did I mention they're trolls? They're all trolls.
I mean, it made sense if you said that mom was a giantess and dad was kind of just a lie about.
There. Yeah. So all of these boys are hideous trolls who have now turned into Santa Clauses. Yeah, so that is all I have.
The table.
I know. This is a fun little, just like, chaotic little episode.
I think my favorite name was the first one.
Steep Coat Claude.
Steep Coat Claude, because everyone else was like door sniffer, pan scraper. And this guy, he had at least a first name, you know, Claude.
Okay, so I will say Claude as in like the stepping, like because his legs are so stiff that they're basically like wood.
Okay, not. Yeah. I was thinking CLAUD, like Claude.
No. CLOD.
Okay, well, never mind. I thought he was like given the courtesy of having like a semi-real name.
I still think my favorite might be Spoon Licker, just because it's so weird.
It's like so out of nowhere.
Yep. Yeah. So
there. Hi, I'm Spoon Licker.
This is my brother, Bowl Licker, and my other brother, Window Peeper.
Yeah, I would not want to come in contact with Window Peeper.
No, that was my least favorite of all of them. Also, Door Slammer.
Door Slammer. Which one to use sounds like the biggest nuisance?
Ooh, I don't know. I honestly think like Window Peeper is the one that freaks me out the most.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I do know historically, Candlebagger or Candle Stealer / Candlebagger was actually considered the biggest threat out of all of them. Because, so fun fact about Iceland, one of their biggest traditions is the Christmas, like, readathon that they do. So basically everyone gets together on Christmas, gets new books, and reads. And in the past, I know, it's so cute. But in the past, everyone had to read by candlelight because around Christmas, there's 20 hours of darkness. So if you wanted to read all through Christmas, you needed candles to do that. So then this guy would come and steal the candles, and he would steal them literally from the hands of children going to their reading nooks, and eat them.
Eat the candles or the children?
Yes. So they were actually made of tallow at the time, which is animal fat.
Wait. You just said yes. You didn't answer if he ate the candle or the children.
Oh, the candles. None of them actually ate kids, unlike their mom.
Finally, a Christmas legend that doesn't eat children.
I mean, Grilla is still technically a Christmas legend, and she eats kids.
That's fair. But, like, she's not the main part of the story, so.
No. So there are the 13 Yuletide lads. I kind of love them all. And they're horrible.
Like very fun lads to be around.
Yeah, and at the same time, completely horrible.
Yeah.
But
I like how over the years they've become more of nuisances than, like, threats.
Yeah.
But now they seem very child-friendly if parents are having their kids come up and
Yeah, I will have to find the picture of like all of the kids sitting on the museum floor with the Santas walking amongst them. It's pretty cute, actually.
We'll have to post that when this episode comes out. For the little description thing. We'll have to post that photo.
Yeah, but anyways, that takes us to the end. What's coming up next week?
Next week we are talking about probably one of the most well-known Christmas, what's the word for him? Demons? Monsters? Bad guys? Krampus! Demon?
It's me. Yeah, boy.
We will be talking about Krampus, the one and only.
The legend himself.
The legend himself, where he came from, what he does, and a weird fun fact that might be true and might not be true.
Interesting.
Yeah, you don't get to know. You don't get to find out yet.
That makes me nervous, but I get to find out tomorrow because we're filming that episode tomorrow.
Yes. But for now, you get to sit and be kind of afraid.
Cool.
Anyways, wishes. So my wish is that if you go to make Christmas cookies or any kind of Christmas treat that involves cookie cutters, that first of all, you don't rip your cookie dough so badly that you deform the shape before you even can take the cookie cutter off of it. And second part of it, when you cook said perfectly shaped cookie, it does not come out of the oven not perfectly shaped.
Oh, that's so good. All right. My wish is, so candy canes, we know them, we love them. We also know that some candy canes are superior to other candy canes. So my wish for you is if you are one of the people who like will get candy canes and melt them into your hot cocoa or like your coffee or something like that, that you get the candy canes that actually melt well. basically. Just get your candy cane of choice, and that one isn't sold out, leaving the one that you don't like.
Also, don't go buying those like jelly bean flavored candy canes, cookies and cream flavored candy canes. Don't do that.
No. Unless you have explicit permission from the people who you're buying them. Because some people like them more. I have known people who prefer the fruity ones, and I question that. What are you doing?
Clap. I was doing a soft clap because I didn't want to do
a
really
very
loud.
soft clap.
Yes. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I can see who's not subscribed. So if you are not subscribed and you keep watching us, I will send which Icelandic Santa Claus? I will send Door Slammer.
Door Slammer's a good one.
Door Slammer will go around and bug all your doors until you subscribe.
Or alternatively, we'll just send all 13 at once because they start coming on the 12th. Is this coming out before or after the 12th? I can't remember.
This is coming out on the 10th.
Perfect. So starting on the 12th, if you don't subscribe, Sheepcoat Claude is going to show up, and they're just going to keep coming each night, a new one.
Look out.
You're going to feel tired of them.
They'll get you.
Yes. Ooh. They'll leave rotten potatoes in your shoes.
Yes, they will. Subscribe. Anyways, Instagram and TikTok are both under the same name at everythingbuttheftsink. So go give those a little follow if you're not following those already. If we hit 50 followers on Instagram, 50 subscribers on YouTube, I will buy a poster of Loki, and he will be in the background. If we hit 100 of each, Karina will buy a poster of Shang-Chi, which will live in her background or on her walls for her to stare at all hours of the day. And if we hit 1,000, my stepdad Steve will pretend to milk the plastic cow at Hagen.
Yes.
Yes, he will.
All right. Anything else that we're supposed to say?
You know. Do you want to say it this time?
Snitches end up in ditches?
Snitches end up in ditches.
Did I not say it with enough conviction?
No, you have to have conviction when you say it.
I don't have conviction right now. I'm too tired.
Anyways, happy holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate, be it Christmas, Hanukkah, or anything else. I can't think of other holidays off the top of my head.
Kwanzaa, Yuletide.
Lots of holidays. So whatever holiday, not whatever celebrate, whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope you have an excellent one and an excellent New Year's as well.
Yes. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Farewell.
Later. Bye.